Good morning, everybody. Jayy here with another War of the Visions video, and today we got a raid coming up this week. We thought maybe we would, but we didn't know for sure which raid we would get. It turns out we're getting the Glacial Bird raid, which has a piece of gear that is very, very worth farming. It's a piece of armor that is like top level. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how you're going to beat this raid, what units you need to use. There's like the bonus water dragon, event that spawns. We're going to talk about all that right here. Let's get to it. Okay, as usual, before we get into it, if you want to support the channel, please consider using my Amazon Coin affiliate link down in the description. Best way to support this channel. Thank you to everybody who uses that. Housekeeping out of the way, let's start by talking about the Brigandine Armor, the main prize from this raid, and the thing I think everybody should be aiming to get a +4 or +5 of, because oh my goodness, this armor is really good. Now, you see the stats and things on the screen right here, and there's 3 types. Let's start there. There's a Vital, a Shield, and a Barrier. The Vital running with 872 HP, 5 defense, 2 spirit with -5 evade. Okay, just disregard that minus evade. We're not even going to think about that. The 872 HP is nice. However, I think that's the worst version of this armor. Shield has 610 HP, so you're giving up a little over 250 HP, but in return you're getting 20 defense and 5 spirit. So plus 15 defense over the Vital and plus 3 spirit. That's probably the best version of this armor, is the Shield, 20 defense and 610 HP. That's comparable to like what a plat armor is, and I run a +0 plat armor all the time on my tanks, especially tanks that are stacking defense. And it's a +0 plat armor, so I'm not getting any of the like bonus passive effects like you're going to be getting from this if you get it to +4, +5. Now, there's also the Barrier type, which I think is really interesting. It goes for this like balanced approach where it gives 610 HP with 10 defense and 10 spirit. That's pretty good. Like, I don't love it because I think when you're building a tank or you're building in general, you want to be like, the more specific you can be, the better you are, but that's pretty good. 610 HP with 10 defense and spirit is the second best version of this in my opinion. I do just think the defense version is the best, so I'm going to build a Shield +5. Now, if you look, it's equipable by like your tanks, right? Your armor wearing units, exactly who you'd think. Let's look at that passive effect though. +5, at a +5, you're getting 10 AoE resist on this thing. Man, you guys, AoE resist is so dang good. There are so many AoE attacks in this game, and being able to stack 10 more AoE resist with an armor, I mean, you wear this and you have somebody like buff King Mont's TMR, and all of a sudden you're getting that AoE resist up high enough that units will consider using single target attacks against you maybe. That might be able to save some of your teammates, etc. It's just going to be a piece of gear that helps you take a lot less damage, and the higher value you get of it, the better. Now, I said it was comparable to the plat armor. Here's the drawback of the plat armor. It is so dang hard to get recipes for that thing. You have to do like the manual PvP mode. Even if you do it on auto, you just don't get that many tokens. There's class match for that, but that's not around all the time. This is so much more accessible and such a similar piece of gear that I think Brigandine is a massive account power up to anybody running plate wearing units, which is all of us. Okay, now let's talk about what other farmable recipes are going to be happening during this event, because every raid is also kind of a rerun of some other raids, right? Where it's not a rerun as in you're fighting the old boss, it's a rerun as it's a chance to go get some recipes if you missed out before. For example, in the last raid, I got 63 of Laswell's sword recipes because I missed them in his raid. Now, usually we can look to JP and know what we're getting here. If it was JP, we would be getting this Christmas coat and the Soul of Thamasa. Here's the thing. We have not gotten the Christmas raid that JP did, so we haven't gotten the first hit of the Christmas coat, which makes me think we probably don't get it for the first time as like the sub-loot of a main raid. So I'm just doubtful that we get it here. If we do, you guys, this piece of gear is legit evasion gear. Like, it gives 29 evade with a passive plus 10. It's insanely good for evasion units. And, I mean, if you run like 2B on evade, you might want to go for this. I don't think so, though. I think at some point we just also get the Christmas raid, maybe in a couple weeks or something. I don't know. Now, Soul of Thamasa. If you started playing after the Soul of Thamasa raid, this is a really, really good item for like Garvel or like Sakura. It's going to help them penetrate magic defense. Super good for your mages to hit harder. If you have a chance to like really spam this raid and pick up some extra recipes, the Soul of Thamasa, worth it. Okay. Let's go on to talking about the raid itself. So here on the screen, you see the bird, right? This is the Glacial Bird. This is who we're killing over and over again. And what should jump off the screen at you immediately is his weaknesses. He's weak to fire, which makes all kinds of sense because King Mont just came out. The bird's made of ice, all of that. But check that out. The dude is weak to slash, and he's considerably weak to slash, minus 15%. Any raid where the raid boss is weak to slashing damage is like green light, go ham. You're probably going to be able to solo a lot of this raid. You're probably going to have at least one strong unit who could come out here and just pummel this thing if you have to look for groups. Slash weak raids are by far the easiest raids to do. And with such a good piece of gear, that's why I think this is such a great opportunity for so many people. You can see at max level, it has 130,000 HP. That's considerable, it's a lot of HP, and we only have so many turns to kill him, so that's important. He has no defense, so you don't need to do defense down. You don't have to worry about that. He does have spirit. He's pretty fast with 80 agility at his last levels, and he's strong against wind, which makes sense, and he's really strong against magic. Magic looks like absolutely the worst thing to run here. Missile coming in next, so like, sorry, Luartha. Yeah, slashing units, fire units, so like, yeah, you'll see. Well, let's go on to the next screen. Let's talk about specifically what units are going to be good for taking this guy out. Okay, that top line there, you're seeing that's the bonus units. You only get one bonus on this. It's not like the box events where you can just start stacking your bonus units. You only get your highest value bonus, right? So for this, your three highest values are King Mont, 2B, and 9S. All three of which are fairly decent against this guy. Now, 2B is wind, and remember, he's strong against wind. So if you can avoid using 2B, avoid using 2B. However, 9S, like if you look right under that bonus unit line, you see 9S has a triple hit slash attack. So like lightning chains that are slashing, super doable on this raid with 9S. You just, like, if you're going to do it with the AI, you just got to turn his piercing attacks off and be like, dude, go to town with your slashing, brother. And he'll be able to do that for you. Obviously, King Mont, this raid is kind of like made for him. So if you can use him, highly suggest that. And running a tank will be a good way to control the aggro of the boss a little bit too. So again, if you want to run it on auto, that could just, you could keep some squishier units alive by putting them far away from Mont, etc. Obviously, we'll have to get into the raid and play around with it to see where the best place to put your tank is, where the best place to put your, like, really squishy units like Stern or something like that is. But looking at those other bonus units, right? Let's say you have Mont. I think Seymour could shine here. I think somebody like Lilith could shine here. If you can build the same element slashing chains, oh man, you're going to really be able to hammer this guy. And a really big tip I have for raiding in general is you want to start by doing the raid with one unit, right? Like, you run the best way to maximize your coin gain as you're climbing your raid up to level 100 is to create a room that's like the 4-person room where you're supposed to have 3 other people join you. But those early raids are so easy. Just use your strongest unit, throw them in there, and just have King Mont solo the thing or something. Eventually, you won't be able to do that anymore. Then go to the duo raid where it's your 2 and somebody else's 2, and just run it with your 2 over and over and over again, and you get more rewards that way than if you ran it with a 4-man group. Eventually, most raids will scale to the point where you need to either go find help or use 4 people. If you have to use 4 people, there are so many good slashing units in this game that shouldn't be a problem for you. And if you have to go find 2 other people or make 4 parties, like, a 4 squad of 9S, that's going to be really good at soloing this raid. It's very accessible. Remember too that if you got the Exorcist Vision card, you can give any two-handed sword wielding unit in this game a 3-hit attack that absorbs their element. So just something to keep in mind. I haven't mentioned Rain yet. Rain seems like he could be a viable person for this raid. Don't do his magic damage, but Rain's got slashing attacks to build some chains or something like that. Okay, let's move on. There's also the bonus raid that's going to spawn, right? That was the, we had the Princess Flan last time, the pink pudding, right? This time we got the Water Dragon. So Water Dragon stats are on the screen there. You can see 80,000 HP at max level, which is not too much, but he does have 10 defense. However, he's also weak to slashing. Nice. And he's weak to lightning. So, yeah, this is 2B's time to shine. If you're an Orlando user from back in the day, you can pull him off the bench and he can go slap this thing down. Sir O, Shootzelt, there's a lot of lightning slashing units. So, hook your guildies up, hook your friends up, host rooms with this dragon, just have people bring their lightning slashers in, and you should have no problem just beating this thing down. Get all those medals, build yourself a +5 Brigandine Armor, maybe go for some recipes for a Soul of Thamasa, or whatever the third thing is. I can tell you this, if they also give us the Christmas coat, I'd probably go insanely hard on this raid and try and grind out both the Brigandine Armor and the Christmas coat, because, I want both of those things. Alright, that's what I got for you today, everybody. I hope this was helpful. I hope you can start kind of playing in your team now, seeing what's going on. Yeah, if you liked the video, click subscribe, give me a thumbs up. We are almost at 5K subscribers on this channel, which is insane considering we only really started trying about Christmas time. Gonna do a video soon announcing a giveaway or something at 5K, so keep your eyes open for that. Subscribe if you haven't. Thank you all for watching, and have a great week. See you later.